Thanks. Right, so welcome to Joshua, one of our
Thank you.
newer members of the team. So you've recently qualified CoSec. So we've been talking about what the qualification actually means, what the profession is, what attracted you to it, and what you want to get out of it, and whether what you thought a couple of years ago is kind of where you feel you are now, or at least getting towards. So over to you.
I think it's a very rewarding career. You're very close to the strategy of the business, which is a great thing. You can be very, very much involved, which of course is a
Yeah.
great thing. I think the way it's marketed could be a bit better. So
Okay.
I don't think people understand the importance of governance itself. So I think that it could definitely be expanded on. I think if more people understood how it actually worked as well, it would be more appealing. I mean, there are some other things that weren't touched on at this point in time that would make it a bit more appealing, but yeah.
But what you were saying is that you found that what am I saying here that people don't understand what
Yeah.
governance is. So what can we do to tell you know three things that governance is that are important to all organisations? What do you think?
So, I mean, if we go down to the basics,
Yeah,
it's really much
keep it to the basics. Yeah,
yeah, it's more or less about creating transparency.
yeah,
Making sure that people know who they are accountable to. For example, the directors.
yeah,
The governance is important at all different levels. Whether
yeah.
it's at board level, whether it's at lower management level. It's more or less about keeping transparency, keeping accountability, making sure that you're adhering to the laws and regulations that you need to, depending on your relevant part of the
Yeah.
business. I mean, if we look at board level, essentially they are setting a strategy and the culture for the business, so they need to understand where they fit into that.
Yeah.
Once they do, it'll just everyone else will fall in line. So I think it's important first of all for the directors to know.
So we have board-facing roles, don't we?
Yeah.
So and lots of people in the company don't know who the directors are. We do have that almost day-to-day contact.
Yeah.
And again, that's a skill which you learn. And you were talking earlier, Lisa, about relationship building and things like that. Making relationships with people who are very busy, very senior, very experienced is very difficult. And you have to understand how to do it. You have to understand what makes people tick. And I think also on top of that, you're caring about what makes people tick, having an interest in people, which of course a lot of people don't have. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but I mean they're focused on their day job, what they're doing, what they're interested in. Whereas in governance, it's all about people and getting a tune out of people that to make it all work together and align it. So you talked about transparency. I agree with that. I think we all agree with that. What else? Number two.
Ooh, number two, I would say accountability.
Yeah.
Is a very very big part. More or less, as I mentioned, the directors essentially they set the standard for the business. So
Tone from the top.
exactly, so once they do that, everyone else kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, you realize certain businesses kind of crumble. And the board of directors, they are the foundation of the business. If the foundation isn't strong, then the building will fall. So that needs to, they need to be accountable for every choice they make, whether it's a good choice, whether it's a bad choice. They should also learn from the decisions that they've made.
Because they will get it wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it wrong, and this is the point. But you say it's having a record is where the minutes come in of why you made that decision in the first place.
Yeah.
Getting your board reporting right, so the directors who are making decisions can make decisions. Got the chance of making the best decision they possibly can do, and then the minutes are there to to explain all of that. So when you look at it 2 years down the line and say, why didn't that go right? Well, we did it. This is how we did it. Okay, it didn't work this time, so we'll learn from that. So you can't get away from accountability. You've brought in. Everyone's got to be transparent as well. So a third thing.
Third thing is, I think deciding the direction of the business is very important. that can fall to many different kind of avenues. I would say, yeah, I need to, can we do
No,
that
it's fine,
question
because
again?
I think if you were saying, if you put it into one word, saying directing, directors need to actually direct.
Yeah.
Because we do see that in certain companies and organisations where the people charged with decision making don't actually make the decisions.
Yeah.
So, in which case they're not actually directors, even though they're called that.
Yeah. So things come to the board to be rubber stamped. Management have made the decision, they just go, here, board, this is what we want you to do. We want you to say yes to this.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Or you have the shareholder imposing decisions upon the board. So, you give it from up, bottom up, top down, and it's the directors, of course, are usually statutory directors. Therefore, they've got director duties under the Companies Act. They're the ones in the firing line.
Yeah. Back to sort of accountability. And
Exactly.
responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for them to know why decisions are being made and be proactive with the things that are going on within a business. That's the only way for them to really know what is going on. And I guess that's that's why the company secretary is important to make sure that they know what is going on in the sense of their responsibilities.
Yeah. So it's that the idea of being CoSec is often called the conduit.
Yeah.
But lots of organisations that don't have a CoSec or any sort of function like that don't have that conduit. So you don't have not facilitating the flow of information to the board, and then the actual decisions coming from the other way, which is what government is there to do, is to make sure those flows are there, and it's the CoSec who's in the middle of that, making sure that nothing is blocked and everything's flowing. So that's quite a nice way of finishing it, isn't it? So CoSec's like to facilitate the flow. I quite like that.